Hi everybody in the YouTube land. This is Dan Harley here, and I'm about ready to produce episode number 53 of Tech Talk with Dan Harley. And I'm simulcasting. I usually do a podcast through audio, and past couple weeks, 2 weeks ago, 2-3 shows ago, I started doing live broadcasts on Facebook and YouTube, and got a lot of good reception out of it. And frankly, it's probably prudent I done this for a long time, so I can continue doing this simulcast here. And bear with, because it's live, it's unpolished, and you can see all my mistakes and everything I'm doing here. But I think it's good practice for me, and for those of you who might be interested in doing stuff like this, you see it raw and see what's going on. So anyway, like I said, right now my live feed's actually going through one of my old Nexus 5 phones. I have it set up on a stand over here. That's kind of the proof of concept that you actually can take a pretty decent video using your smartphone, but you have to have a little extra equipment to go along with it. But here we are. Also, right here, I'm actually recording the audio part of the podcast through my computer, one of my workstations, and through a program called Audacity, which is a free kind of open source program. Lots of people use it. It's a fantastic program. So anyway, how my podcast kind of rolls here. Actually, I got the audio part. I got 3 segments of it. Oh, by the way, if you want to see this, on my website at primeconstants.net, you will see this broadcast, the YouTube part of it, the live cast, embedded in the show notes, episode number 53. And you see when you go to primeconstants.net, it's distinctly marked home of Tech Talk with Dan Harley, and you should be able to find the podcast fairly simple, or search for it while you're there. Though you'll see, and also if you're on iTunes or have an Android phone, the audio part of it is on every single podcast directory I can find. So about a dozen different podcast directories. There's so many of them I can't even remember. iTunes, obviously, and then Google Play, the new one they have, as well as Spotify and some other places too. So anyway, with the podcast show, the audio part, I actually have 3 segments. The first segment is kind of the introduction, and which I'm going to do fairly soon here. And then the second part is kind of a welcome. I call the welcome moment, where I about 2-3 minutes talk about past events, things that are going on, and kind of segue into the main part of the episode, which is with the topic of the day. And then I roll into a kind of what I call the sponsorship or commercial, which right now is basically me. go to primeconstants.net and see what's going on over there. Hopefully sometime in the future there I'll get a sponsor, and that's where they're going to go. And then we go into the regular part of the episode, and usually gets about 20-30 minutes or so, depends how long-winded I get. And that's good. We're done. This usually takes approximately an hour-ish to produce from beginning to end. Well, let me add here too. I'll probably spend another hour doing a little bit of research and get my notes straightened out and stuff like that, so it doesn't look like I can continually babble, because I can babble a lot. So I do have some copious notes kind of right over there on my computer, kind of watch an outline, so I can have a general idea where I'm talking, which way I'm going with this. So that's where I'm going at right now. And in about a minute, and when I get a little bit silent, and talk a little bit weird, not talking directly to you guys, that's what's going on, is I'm actually kind of setting up the show, the audio part of the show here. So right now, what I'm doing here is I'm getting my show notes ready to go, so that I can do the introduction part, which is episode 53. So I'm going to kick this out in about 20 seconds here, and so I'll be a little silent until then. Okay? All right. This is episode number 53 of Tech Talk with Dan Harley. I'm catching up on events, and also my first and hopefully last political opinion in this podcast show, and how I think everybody got rickrolled by Melania Trump. So that's my introduction. And so I've kind of put this aside. Now, this particular show, I'm not going to have a sponsor segment or I'm just basically going to run into the show, start talking, because I really pressed for time the past couple weeks. I got a lot of things going, which is a good thing you'll hear in the show here. But usually I spread out a little bit, get a little introduction and a little commercial, and then go into the regular show. But we're just going to do one fell swoop and go from beginning to the end. Okay? So anyway, here we go. Okay, welcome back, everybody. This is Tech Talk episode number 53. First and hopefully last politically motivated podcast. Recorded on July 20th, 2016. Yes, I've been extremely busy the past few weeks, which is a good thing, which means I'm making money. Bad thing is I can't stay completely on top of things like making sure I do my podcast episodes every week. So I need to get this post out because lots of things have been happening in the past couple weeks here that folks need to know about and acknowledge that I'm aware of it, and things are going to happen in the future here with podcast content and the show, and as well as is the live show. By the way, we are simulcasting live on YouTube. At if you're not seeing us live, by the way, thank you guys for those a couple of you guys that are finding me live. If you're not, we'll have the recorded show on our website, primeconstance.net, along with the audio part of it, which is embedded in primeconstance.net, as well as available through all of the major podcast directories. So anyway, what's been happening in the past few weeks? I think probably a couple of big things. First of all, Pokemon Go one. Oh, I lost power. Uh-oh. I just lost power to my computer system over here. It's rebooting, so I got to redo that show here. So, hang tight. I just had an interruption of power here. So, fortunately, I'm going live here. I keep on going at this. Crazy. Talk about crazy stuff. You can expect all that and more at Prime Concepts. So anyway, we're still waiting for the podcast to my computer reboot. And wow, I never had that happen before. So that's kind of crazy stuff. I'm waiting for things to kind of reboot and reorder. We go from there. So, not gonna redo the whole that part of the show. Crazy stuff. So, and I got a fly flying around me here. Anyway, I'm going to my backup system now, just in case. Oh, there we go. We got some audio on my computer. And we're waiting for things to fire back up again. I got all my workstations. Fortunately, everything I got redundancy, but it sucks. It works great so long as you're not doing live stuff. And I just happened to be doing live stuff, and it took a dive right there on the spot. Crazy. Murphy's Law, as they say. So anyway, I got a pulse off my main computer. And I'm just going to keep on going live like this. So you folks that are for educational purposes, if you're looking to do podcast shows and stuff like this happens, this is what happens. Okay, I'm going to have to, there is my Evernotes. There is my, I was wondering what's going to happen with that podcast, the audio part. Fortunately, I saved a little bit of it. I don't know if it saved the tail end of it, so I'm gonna have to redo that whole thing there. Audio here. We're getting close. Are we getting close? We're getting there. We're getting there. there it goes again. Okay, I got another power outage again. I'm gonna have to start all this stuff over and get back to you guys. So we'll reconvene, and I'll do another live show sometime soon here. We'll talk to you guys later.